Welcome to the Entrepreneur Abundance System. I'm Dr. Betsy Kruger, your guide to strategic power. I've guided thousands to spark their profits, and so can you. Use fast, easy steps to escape the treadmill and prosper. New episodes are Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon.
Welcome to episode 18 of the Entrepreneur Abundance System. We'll be plotting golden eggs. I put myself way out on a limb when I said the 80-20 rule was a universal law of nature. Well, let's prove it out. Take any large, unbiased sample of inputs and let's see if we can predict the results. There are 3 steps. The first is to sequence all your inputs by the results. So calculate the results of every input and array them in sequential order so they descend off to the right. The second step is to stack up your results so they total up to be 100%. The third step is to plot the results of every input. Let's see if the top 20% of your inputs does predict 80% of the results. Put an ostrich egg there. If there are other golden eggs up on top of that curve, you'll notice a concave curve that's always consistent. That's the Pareto distribution. Well, who was Pareto? Valfrido Pareto was a political exile. He escaped from Italy because he became a fiery advocate of free trade, capitalism, and laissez-faire government. You see, he'd had it with the Italian government. He'd gotten a doctorate in engineering when he was 22 and became a civil engineer for the state railroad system. And he just couldn't stand government anymore. So government thugs chased him out of Italy. He became the professor of political economy in Lausanne, Switzerland. He was so famous, people traveled from all across Europe to study at his feet. He founded the fields of macroeconomics and sociology, but more importantly, he learned how to predict results. His students called it the 80-20 rule, but he called it the Pareto distribution. That's what you just drew, was the Pareto distribution. It's a concave curve that's always the same shape, no matter what inputs you use. Let's hear from Eddie Velez, the owner of Success by Design. He describes my podcast as sound tips for success. Betsy Kruger has a wealth of knowledge on marketing success and shares it in bite-sized pieces in layman's terms. If you take each lesson, soon you will master the 80-20 rule and Pareto works. You have learned in episode 18 the 3 steps to plotting points on a Pareto distribution. Sequence your inputs by the results, stack up your results, and then plot the results of every input. You will get a concave curve that is the Pareto distribution. Now, in episode 19, you will learn where to find the golden eggs of monsters.
You've just completed one episode of the Entrepreneur Abundance System. To get more, subscribe on iTunes, get alerts, and rate and share this podcast with friends. I'll guide you step by step to achieve strategic power. Get my guides on the premium site at BetsyKruger.com. Answer a few easy questions and make wise decisions. You'll transform your business into a profit-making machine.